Sup peeps, my name's Ian, I sell books on eBay, and this is day number 32, so that makes it the 1st of February. We're fairly cracking on through the year. Another few days and we'll be 10% through the year, 10%. It's Saturday, yesterday was the last day of the month. Did payday recover? Well, not really. Another reasonable day, a couple of Vinted orders, bundles of books on Vinted, a few eBay orders, but still pretty slow, which is helping me make up my mind about what I want to do over the next weeks and months to try and change and develop the business and make more from what I already have, rather than thinking, well, if I'm making £100 with £50,000 worth of stock, I need to get £100,000 worth of stock. That's not feasible. We need to learn to scale up. So I've got a few ideas, a few things I am going to do, which will include scaling back eBay. I'm sorry to say it, but it's just, for many, many weeks now, it has just been grinding to a stop. I think there may be quite a bit of apprehension around all the changes that are coming this month. Maybe things will settle down once they're all in place. I don't know. But there's plenty of other places to sell stuff. Don't have to be ridiculously loyal to one company. It's much like if you're in a job these days, there's definitely a bonus for being disloyal. You move jobs, you'll get more money. If you stay in the same place, you get zero reward. So yeah, I'm going to try for the disloyalty bonus and move an awful lot more stock onto Vinted. It will take time to do that. It took me a long time to build up all the stock I had on eBay, but I'm going to focus very hard on getting as much moved over and listed as possible and take a lot of it down off of eBay. At the moment, I'm paying £90 a month to have 1,500 listings in my shop. I'm going to try and pull that all the way back down to the 250, whatever it is, for about 30 quid a month. It's only £60 a month in savings, and it'll be less than that because I will still have some listing fees to go on top, but really try and get the eBay store down to just the stuff that I need to sell on there. I hope that makes sense. Rather than everything and anything just getting listed there and on Vinted. If I list all my bread and butter books on both sites, then obviously it's taking twice as long to do the listings, which means that instead of being able to list 50 books an hour on Vinted, I'm only actually getting 25 books an hour listed because I'm also listing them on eBay. And you can save some time by duplicating, but not a huge amount. So I need to decide which platform to really go for with those, and I'm going to go with Vinted for a lot of the bread and butter books. Some better stuff will also go on Vinted, and then the things that don't list easily over there, I will continue to put on eBay and see if we can get some improvement in sales versus available stock doing that. Anyway, there are a few orders that I had to record earlier on. There was some background noise, so I did it silently, so I'll need to do a wee voiceover telling you about those. But before we get to that bit, I'll show you the orders I have picked since doing all of that. And they are... Wait a minute, I need to find out how much people paid for them before I go any further. There we go. Right, we've got The Wrong Sister by Claire Douglas, hardcover. This is eBay. That went for £8.99. Then we have two Anne Cleeves books, so on a bundle listing, so I'm assuming they're a buy one get one half price, so they're about £7.50 for the two Anne Cleeves paperbacks. And an author that I haven't sold in I don't know how long. It really has been quite some time. What did it sell for? It sold for £13.99, which after all the fees means I get £10.05 back. And it is Anthony Horowitz. So Alex Rider. None of these are Alex Rider books, obviously, but he's quite a prolific author. And here we've got a couple of hardcovers, 3 paperbacks that sold for £13.99. It's a listing I've not even looked at, and I don't know how long, because they never ever sell. I don't even pick them up anymore because they've just add to wait on a shelf without anything happening. So we'll see if we get another couple of orders through on that listing now that there's been 5. That sometimes gives it the wee boost and gets it all moving. £10.5 back after my eBay fees. They're going to be £6-7 to post, so really it's only like £3. Coming back, cash flow. There'll be another couple of pounds maybe, almost a couple of pounds from the VAT rebate, because obviously I can deduct the VAT from my postage and my eBay fees. So a little less than £1 a book on that lot, but you know, I'll take it. They've been sitting for I don't know how long, so just quite happy for them to get moving. I mean, they're good books. I'm not sure why that listing never sells, because he is an author that does sell, but just not much for me. So that's the 3 orders I've been and picked up since I did the first lot. I'll get them packed up now, shipped off. Whilst I'm here, we did have a couple of little bits and bobs I wanted to pick up from the other platforms, which was, what was it? There was something on here. Where are we? Messages. I don't like the Vinted messages system. I'm never sure what's what, because it's the same thing comes back as it tells you its progress. Anywho, KJ reads, Karen, thanks for getting in touch over on Vinted. She just wanted to show some support on there too, so thanks very much, Karen, for getting in touch. We then have on YouTube some comments. We always do. So, yeah, the Vinted bundles and the, you know, Vinted providing postage, which is way less than the actual weight. I've heard from a couple of different places and confirmed on the Vinted app by some of you guys as well that there's no comeback if they have gotten the weight wrong. Obviously, if I was saying something, you know, that weighs 500 grams and it weighs 600, then that should be in the kilo category, and that's my fault, and I would expect to have to pay additional postage once it's gone. But if I have, well, I don't even have any Vinted orders here to show you, but for example, if that Anthony Horowitz bundle, and I can just wriggle it off the desk one-handed there, so those 2 hardcovers would both have been put down as up to 1 kilo, and the 3 paperbacks up to 500 grams. So that would have been 3.5 kilos I would have listed that as. But Vinted would produce a label for 2 kilos. There's nothing I can do about that one. So the liability sits with them and not me. So I'm hoping that is the case. I have contacted them, and they came back asking for specific order numbers, blah, blah, blah. So I've given them a big list of order numbers, and I've not heard anything since, because it's not a one-off. It's every single time somebody buys a bundle, the weights are out. Occasionally they get it right by accident, but for the most part, they're all gone. So kind of curious as to what will happen, but I'm fairly confident that there's no comeback on me unless I have mislabelled the weights when I've actually listed them. Aye. Not much will stop the bookman from Zen. Oh, car crash. Yeah, that's been fun. So Thursday, I got hit by a truck. Nice Evan ballad. Anthrax, I think that was. She got hit by a truck. Anyhow, I got hit by a van on Thursday. It wasn't bad. I mean, it's nothing serious. There's no injuries or anything. But they dinged the front wheel and I've knocked it out of alignment, and there's a wee funny whine coming from it, and the steering's off and so on. So it's not really drivable, which became the major issue. Yesterday I spent most of the day on and off with the insurance and sorting out a courtesy car for it while it's off the road. Thankfully they're giving us a really nice, only 1,300 miles in the clock, nice wee Nissan, which is not quite the boot space I need for my usual bits and pieces, but it's only for a few days, so it's absolutely fantastic. I'm back on the road, and it's the newest car I have ever driven. You know, a 74 plate. I don't think I've ever driven a car that's not been at least 5 years old. I really don't think I have. It's luxurious. from that fact. So that's going to spoil me a wee bit for a few days, and then I'll get back in the old Astra state, hopefully, and keep that moving. And they might write it off just because it's an old car, and once they add on the cost of, the courtesy car, so obviously it's come from a rental company and all of these things, they might just turn around and go, nah, we're doing nothing, man. So a wee bit nervous about that, because that means that I've then got to go and find something else and hope that the insurance is enough to actually pay off whatever's outstanding on that one, which, see what happens, things is what things is. So yeah, that's been fun, and kind of wiped out an awful lot of yesterday, because I was just having to faff about and waiting on calls and calling people and waiting in queues and phones and blah, 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 and then heading down to try and find a rental place to get the car, and yeah, so I didn't get much done yesterday other than picking and packing and such. This weekend I will do a wee bit of a pick-up at some point, and yeah, see how it all runs. But I'm really hoping February does pick up one way or another. If we can get a wee bit better on eBay, just with what I've got and what I'm doing, that would be fine. But I'm expecting to get more through Vinted just by listing more on it, and it'd be good to get to that kind of saturation point. Is that the right phrase? Probably not. But, that listing X a day and selling X a day, when would we get to that point? I've never achieved that with eBay. I may have had the odd day where I've sold the same amount that I've listed, but it's been coincidence, probably because I've had a slow listing day rather than anything else. But I don't think I've ever got to the point of listing, so many a week and selling so many a week. It's just not happened. Either I don't do any listing and the number of listings drop, or I do my normal listing and they go up. So I try and balance it so that there's no more going in and coming out, but not because I am consistently listing, 50 items a day and selling 50 items a day. It just ain't going to happen. The only way it works is, like I say, if I see how many I've sold and only list that many. So never got there with eBay, and I don't think it's going to happen in the near future, just with the way all of that is working just now. So yeah, that's where we are. There was something else. Yeah, people talking about what they've read. Sue, who was, what's your eBay name? I'm trying to remember. Parasol Lady. Sue, Parasol Lady. Just talking about, what she's reading at the moment, how to get into reading. I am going to be doing a wee video on my reading story, I suppose you would call it. Don't know if it'll be that interesting to anybody, but just how I got into reading. What made me be a reader. What I've gone through over the years. Because we all tastes change. Reading ability changes, all of these things. But that's going to be on my other channel. So if you want to hear about that, you'll need to head over to Ian Almost Does BookTube and see what's getting said on there. There's one other question. Where was it? Oh, Mike Barnes. Have you ever tried selling on Amazon? He has asked. Yes. And I am still waiting. I think that's more than a year now. I've been waiting for them to approve my account. Something's got locked up in the process. They can't get it to move on. Nobody seems to care that much or be inclined to help. And to be honest, I've kind of given up on it myself. I can't go in and try and create a new account because it keeps finding some of my details on there saying, no, you've already got something in process, so you can't continue. But they won't process or continue processing the application thing I've already got in to sell on Amazon. So I don't know what's happening with that. It was annoying for a wee while, but now I've just kind of forgotten about it and I don't care. I've got no great interest. The sales for Amazon are not particularly good money for the vast majority of things I sell, so it'd be more trouble than it's worth listing things on a third platform, tripling the effort required to get very few extra sales. So yeah, Not going to do that. And that's all we've got for the moment. Yeah, I will be cutting over now to whatever I've managed to knock together to show you the sales that came in earlier on. And that will be it for the day. So enjoy whatever's coming up, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Welcome to today's Bundles of Books. A fantastic event we've got coming up here, and we're starting off with a 3-book bundle of fantasy books by R.J. Barker: Age of Assassins, Blood Something, and King of Assassins. I'm assuming that was Blood of Assassins. And they sold for £12.99. Next up, we have... What's it going to be? What's it going to be? The crowd are getting restless. Will they find out soon? Yes, it's a bunch of kids' books. 5 peek inside books. We've got some zoo. We've got forest. And another one, which is the sea. And of course, peep inside the garden, which is very important at this time of year because it will soon turn into the jungle. What is next? Oh, we've been told to pause for a moment. Pause. Ah, here we go. Bit of a classic. Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird. This is the Folio Society edition. Not very in focus there. The team needs to work on that, but it's beautifully bound. Lots of foil, lots of design. Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird for £24. All sold on eBay. Then we can move on to Julia Donaldson. Everybody loves Julia Donaldson, especially children. 5 books in the bundle, and they sold for around £12. Spectacular. Is there any more? Oh, one more, 2 more. No, I think we're moving on to Vinted now. And on Vinted, we first up have a bundle of 4 paperback books from Leanne Moriarty. Who's next? Claire Douglas. Nice little thriller there. Then She Vanishes by Claire Douglas. And 2, count them, 1, 2 Thomas Harris paperbacks, Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal Rising. Is there another Vinted sale? Yes, we have one more Vinted sale to share with you today. Oh, we're getting a wee sneak peek in the corner there. That looks like possibly a big bundle of books. 9 books in total, if I counted fast enough there. And we've got The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. What's coming next? Remarkably Bright Creatures. Lovely looking book. The Mysterious Double Death of Honey Black. The Hike. Lots of thrillers here. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Can't be very good anymore. Bridgerton. And Confessions of a 40-something. And that's our orders so far today.